Alrighty, today we're going to be talking about a TikTok that has kind of been making the rounds, and it's really all kind of stems from a photo that kind of went a little bit viral, and then people kind of started talking about the photo that went viral. But this is the TikTok that we are going to be talking about today. So in this TikTok, it is this woman right here, Femin Fits, responding to another TikTok, which you will see in a second. But this is the photo that went viral. So this is a photo of this person right here, and this is Jordan Allen Hall. I think they go by Jordan. And so this is also a pretty popular TikTok person, and they were, featured in this photo. So again, this is the photo right here, and people had stuff to say about it. So we are going to be watching this. We're going to be reacting to this reaction of someone else's reaction to the photo. It's a lot. There's a lot, I know, but let's see what they have to say.
But there is something clearly wrong with the woman on the right. Not saying that she's not worthy and deserving of love, because she is. But she's unhealthy. She can hardly fit in her freaking shoes.
So I think that when I see stuff like this, right, and I'm trying to find the best way to explain this, but I am someone that has a very abnormal looking body, right? If I take my shirt off and stuff and I were to take a photo and be a part of some sort of ad campaign, for me, right, the way I see stuff like this is if I were to be a part of an ad campaign and then that ad campaign went viral, myself, I would not be at all surprised by getting responses of why does his skin look like that, blah blah blah, people just having their opinions, right, saying that he should cut that off, blah blah. I deal with it all the time, right? So I wouldn't be surprised. So I don't know if Jordan is surprised by this type of response, but I would be surprised if they were genuinely like, oh my god, I can't believe this, right? That's just my opinion.
Why on earth would we promote people walking around and looking like this? And it's honestly mean to say that someone is beautiful and all this stuff when it's like we're literally lying to them and making them think that it's okay to be that way when it's really not, because it's hurting their health and it's shortening their lives. If you really care about people, you tell them the truth.
Here's a point-by-point breakdown on why everything that creator said is not okay and wrong. To start, you cannot determine someone's health just by how they look. Someone, thin or fat, could be experiencing suicide.
Okay, so what I always say when I hear this argument is that this is right to an extent, right? So can you tell someone's health just by looking at them? For the most part, no, but there are certain things that we do that can manifest themselves physically that makes it clear if someone is healthy or not, right? So the most obvious one, which is what we're talking about here, is if someone is incredibly thin, it is not at all like abnormal for someone to be like, hey, that person needs some help, right? Eugenia Cooney, things like that, right? People that are on that side of the spectrum, it is not, most people don't even see it as really a problem, being like, hey, this shouldn't be okay, right? And it's the same thing on the other side of the spectrum. Like, it's so frustrating because there's so many genuinely good arguments that to be made against claims like this. Because like the woman in the first video, I don't necessarily agree with everything she says. There's a lot of stuff that I personally disagree with, but not to the extent that this person goes on to say, which it gets even crazier, which is not a surprise anymore on TikTok. But to say that there is no way that you can look at someone and say whether or not they are healthy, like, be for real, dude. Come on, right? Why not say most of the time, right? To say never, ever, ever, like, that's just crazy, bro. Like, that's just crazy. Like, again, why does it always have to go to the extreme? That's what always happens when, we talk about stuff like this.
Suicidal ideation or other mental health struggles, could be addicted to something, could have really high cholesterol or low bone density or too high of a resting heart rate. They might have a...
So they're talking about someone that is very, very thin, right? And then they're not attacked because of their size, right? And like, I'm not disagreeing with that. I don't think that the only way you can tell if someone is healthy or not is based on how they look. But that is certainly a way, it's a factor in it, right? Again, most people aren't going to fall in that group of people that you can tell, but there are, on the opposite sides of the spectrum, people that are very, very large, people that are very, very small, that you can see that and be like, clearly something is going on here, right? Clearly something is amiss, and there are things going on that are a problem. I don't think there's anything wrong with saying that. Like, I really see nothing wrong with saying that at all, truly.
Chronic illness or other autoimmune disease. Thin people could have type 2 diabetes and high blood pressure.
You can, but the vast majority, especially if you're thinking like per capita, right? The amount of people that are severely overweight and the amount of people that are severely overweight that also have type 2 diabetes, that also have high blood pressure is incredibly large. So clearly there is a correlation there.
And while no one owes you health, only thin people are assumed to be healthy and thus left alone. But they might not be healthy, and that's fine, especially given our lack of access to affordable, quality healthcare. Also, some people are their healthiest when they're fat.
To an extent, yes. But again, what the arguments we're about to hear are going to be very cherry-picked and are going to be for a very specific person that completely, in my opinion, just glazes over and doesn't look at the vast majority of people that seem to be extremely overweight and what that entails and how you get to that point.
There are a million reasons that people are fat, but some include going on antidepressants and other genetic factors that just mean they have a higher set weight than others might, and now they're finally, for the first time ever, maybe not hyper-restricting anymore. Additionally...
yeah, okay. You explained, maybe, if I'm being charitable, 10% maybe of people that are extremely overweight. So the other 90% are, again, the reason I get frustrated about this is because when we start going down this road of like, there's nothing you can do about it, it takes the person's agency away from them, right? So someone that has been struggling with their weight their entire life or feels like they can never lose weight, they watch something like this and they think to themselves, well, I'm a lost cause. I'm screwed. There's nothing I can do about it. I am lost, right? And that person isn't happy. They wish that they could lose the weight. They know they're having significant health issues because of their weight. They feel like losing weight will significantly increase the quality of their life. And there's nothing wrong with thinking that, right? But then they watch stuff like this and then they think to themselves, well, there's nothing I can do. I am a lost cause. I have no agency in this. It is completely out of my control. And I don't believe that, right? If you're watching this video and you have gone down that road or you are starting to go down that road, I believe in you. The people in this comment section believe in you, and you can change the quality of your life, and you can significantly shift that road that you feel like you're going down. You can get to that fork in the road and choose the other path and see that light at the end of the tunnel, right? Like, there is a future for you that doesn't go down that road that you're seeing that ends in the ravine that's dark and scary. Like, there's a way out of that, I believe, okay? And I know other people in this comment section believe. So don't just listen to stuff like this that is tailor-made to a very specific 3% of the population, right? It's BS, in my opinion.
Just existing in your body isn't promoting anything about your body.
I agree with that. I do agree with that.
So if you think that the woman on the right deserves love and safety and everything else you claim to think, don't you think she also deserves the right to have a job, regardless of what industry that's in?
She has a right to have a job, 100%, or they do. I think they use they, them pronouns. I don't know. I think they absolutely have the right to have a job, but they also are going to deal with the same criticisms that any model deals with. Not saying that is a right thing, but models have dealt with this since the beginning of time. And so people say they're too thin, you're too tall, you're too short, you're too this, you're too that. And so, of course, this person is also going to deal with that type of criticism. Like that, I think that is just part of that job, right? In my opinion.
Modeling or otherwise? Because the most political thing about fatness being visible in brand campaigns right now is the fact that we haven't seen more of it before. Because fat people have always existed and we have discriminated against them. They're just existing. They're not promoting being fat.
I mean, I agree with that for the most part. I personally don't see anything wrong with having more models, having bigger people represented in like mannequins. I remember when that whole Nike thing first happened, people freaked out, and I was like, I think that it's totally fine to have plus size people be mannequins, because a lot of people are plus size and they also want to go work out. But again, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't necessarily disagree with everything that's said, but again, you'll see it gets even worse, in my opinion.
And finally, the most reliable explanation scientists have right now for what makes fat people less healthy than skinny people is the abuse they undergo. The fact that they are paid tens of thousands of dollars less per year than their straight-sized counterparts. The fact that they're harassed in the street, not being able to find clothing that fits or sit at a restaurant or fit in an MRI machine to get preventative scans that you need. It's the discrimination that makes fat people unhealthy, nothing else.
Okay. It is the discrimination that makes fat people unhealthy, nothing else. I disagree, okay? The discrimination isn't great. It's not fun to deal with people making fun of you. It's not fun to deal with all that stuff, right? And then there is a genuine thing when we're talking about being discriminated against when you are going to the doctor and they don't take the care of you. 100%, okay? So I want to make it clear. I'm not saying, oh, all of this is BS. I think that talking about getting better representation and getting just better care for fat people at the doctor is incredibly important, without a doubt, okay? I want to make that clear. But, and it's a big one, okay? It is ridiculous to say that the only reason fat people are unhealthy is because of the discrimination. I just don't agree with that. I just absolutely don't agree with that, because there are plenty of fat people that have dealt with a ton of discrimination, but there are plenty of fat people that haven't dealt with nearly as much as others, right? It's just different where you are and where you live and the way that people interact with you. So to say that in the whole world, every fat person is just getting discriminated against so much in every culture, in every aspect of the earth, right? They are getting discriminated against so much that it's causing their health, and that's the reason. Nothing to do with the amounts of food that they're eating, the amount of exercise they're not doing, most likely, right? Again, yes, of course, there are fat people that exercise, okay? Yes, but the vast majority, okay? The vast majority are not. And so to say that none of that stuff matters and it's only because of the discrimination is, in my opinion, absolutely ridiculous. But again, I just wanted to share my thoughts. This is why I just get so frustrated about this stuff, because I feel like I'm in the middle, and it's like there's the people that are like, oh, fat people gross and disgusting, and I hope that they don't exist, and it's stuff like this where it's like the only reason fat people, it's like, come on, dude. Come on, man. I'm sorry. I just disagree. And I think that there absolutely are things that we can work on to improve the lives of fat people, but we can also improve the lives of fat people and still work on helping the fat people that want to lose weight and not make them feel bad for wanting to lose weight. But again, those are just my thoughts. Those are my opinions. I would love to know what you think down in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.